Children, let's continue with the chapter. In the second part of the chapter, we shall learn about the Bahmani kingdom and the Mughal power. These were the two main powers during the medieval period. Children, kindly open to your textbook page number 6. Let's start with the subtopic, the Bahmani kingdom. While Muhammad bin Tughlaq was still reigning, some of his Sardars in the Deccan rose in rebellion against him. When Muhammad bin Tughlaq was ruling over India, his Sardars in the Deccan rose or went against him. The leader of these Sardars, Hasan Gangu, defeated the army of Sultan of Delhi. A new kingdom known as Bahmani kingdom came into existence in 1347 CE. Hasan Gangu became the first Sultan of Bahmani kingdom. He made the city of Gulbarga in Karnataka its capital. So when did Bahmani kingdom came into existence? In the 1347 CE. And who became the Sultan of Bahmani kingdom? That is Hasan Gangu. What he did? Hasan Gangu defeated the Muhammad bin Tughlaq and became the Sultan of Bahmani kingdom. And he made Gulbarga the capital of Bahmani kingdom. Now we shall learn about Muhammad Gawan. Who was he? Let us take a look. Muhammad Gawan was the chief wazir of the Bahmani kingdom. Who was the chief wazir of Bahmani kingdom? It is Muhammad Gawan. He was a good administrator. He strengthened the Bahmani kingdom. He started paying the soldiers their salaries in cash instead of through land or grants. He brought discipline in the army of Bahmani kingdom. He introduced many reforms in the land revenue system. He opened a madrasa at Bihar for Arabic and Persian studies. So all these works tell us that he was an important person in the or chief wazir in the Bahmani kingdom, and he has worked a lot to make Bahmani kingdom a major kingdom. We can see he has done a lot of work and lot of changes. After the death of Muhammad Gawan, factionism increased among the Bahmani Sardars. Means there was discontent among the Bahmani Sardars after the death of Muhammad Gawan. The conflict with the Vijayanagar kingdom had an adverse effect on the Bahmani kingdom. The provincial governors began to act more independently. So what happens when the leader is dead? You do not know whom to follow, and because of this there was discontent among the Sardars of Bahmani kingdom. This led to the disintegration of Bahmani kingdom into 5 small powers. Because of this, what happened? The Bahmani kingdom was divided into 5 small powers. First one, Imad Shahi of Bharat. Second one, Barid Shahi of Bidar. Third one, Adil Shahi of Bijapur, and Nizam Shahi of Ahmednagar, and last Qutub Shahi of Golconda. So all these are the 5 main small powers of Bahmani kingdom. Why did this happen? Because when the Muhammad Gawan died, there was discontent among the Sardars of Bahmani kingdom, and hence the power got declined and it got divided into 5 small powers. Now let us learn about the Mughal power. You must have all heard about the Mughal power. In 1526 CE, the Sultanate of Delhi came to an end, and then the Mughal power was established there. When the Sultanate of Delhi came to an end, there arose the Mughal power in 1526 CE. Babur was the founder of Mughal power. So here is the picture of Babur, who was the founder of Mughal power. He was the king of Fargana in Central Asia, in today's Uzbekistan. He had heard of wealth in Delhi. Babur had heard a lot of rumors about India's wealth. So what he did, he planned to invade India. The reigning Sultan of Delhi at that time was Ibrahim Lodi. And during that time, when Babur planned for invasion in India, Ibrahim Lodi was the Sultan during that time, and Daulat Khan Lodi was the governor of Punjab under the Sultanate. The relationship between Ibrahim Lodi and Daulat Khan Lodi strained, means there was a rivalry between them. Hence, Daulat Khan Lodi invited Babur to march on India against Ibrahim Lodi. Now, Babur got a chance to invade India. So what he did, taking this opportunity, Babur invaded India. To rebel Babur's invasion, Ibrahim Lodi started with his army. There was a battle between Ibrahim Lodi and Babur on 21st April 1526 at the place called Panipat. In this battle, Babur made use of an artillery effectively for the first time in India. Before, this skill was not introduced in India. He defeated Ibrahim Lodi. He means Babur defeated Ibrahim Lodi in the Battle of Panipat. And this is known as the First Battle of Panipat. After the Battle of Panipat, Rana Sanga of Mewar region brought all Rajput kings together. Why? To fight against the Babur. So what he did, he brought all Rajputs king together. There was a fight between Rana Sanga and Babur. Rana Sanga, this is the picture of Rana Sanga, and there was a fight between Rana Sanga and Babur. There was a fight between Babur and Rana Sanga at Khandwa. Babur's artillery and reserve force played a key role in this battle, and Rana Sanga's army was defeated. So who won this battle? It is Babur, because he was a very skilled artillery, skillful people. So he won the battle. Babur died in the year 1530 CE. So when did Babur die? He died in the year 1530 CE. Do you know, after Babur, Humayun 1530 CE to 1539 CE and from 1555 CE to 1556 CE ascended the throne. So after Babur, who ascended the throne? It is Humayun. He was defeated by Sher Shah. Humayun was defeated by the Sher Shah from the Sur Empire. Sher Shah established the Sur dynasty on the throne of Delhi. After Humayun, ascended the throne. There was a battle between Akbar and Hemu at Panipat in 1556 CE. This is the second battle of Panipat. Akbar's ambition was to bring the whole of India under his control. After Akbar, Jahangir became the emperor. During his reign, his wife Nurjahan played an active role in the administration. Jahangir was followed by Shah Jahan as the emperor. The next emperor after Shah Jahan was Aurangzeb. He reigned for a very long time after his death. And after the death of Aurangzeb, the Mughal Empire became very weak. Akbar was the most powerful king of the Mughal dynasty. When he tried to bring India under his control and under his central authority, he had to face opposition from the people like Maharana Pratap, Chand Bibi, Rani Durgavati struggled against him. Their struggle is very noteworthy. So today we will stop over here. In the next class, we shall learn more in detail about Maharana Pratap, Chand Bibi, Aurangzeb, Rani Durgavati, etc., who gave a tough fight to Akbar.